In today's time, it's really easy to forget about movie plot holes, but today, because with modern technology, we're able to really spread our views through the internet so everyone can hear instead of exercising and using the internet instead of doing exercise. And now, directors are being called out more and more on a regular basis, and they're having to admit to their problems and faults honestly and earnestly. And this is where we talk about them. I'm Max.
I'm Sam.
And this is 9 directors who admitted their movies have plot holes.
Number 9, Dan Scanlon in Monsters University. Monsters University is one of those classic films where two monsters meet and fuck together when they were young and 18 years old. This monster here has fallen over. But that fall should have broken his back and killed him. Director Dan Scanlon, who directed the film, said that even though he was aware that fall would have fallen and hurt him and killed him in the movie, he said, "You know, it's a kid's film and I don't give a fuck about your criticism. And to be honest, if he had died at that moment, you wouldn't have a fucking movie. I'm directing a pointless prequel for the sake of money, and I don't really care about artistic integrity." Well, thanks for admitting it, you piece of shit director. Anyway, let's move on.
Number 8, John McTiernan from Die Hard. During the movie Die Hard, it was really well received and many people liked it. However, as time has gone on, people have noticed a sneaky little plot hole that happens midway through the movie near the end of its climax. You might be asking? Well, the director spoke in the commentary DVD that when this ambulance shows up, he didn't know what to do with it. And then later on in the end of the movie, the ambulance driver shows up safe and sound at the end. And many people saw this as a plot hole, which he soundly admitted. But what would you rather watch? Bruce Willis fighting Alan Rickman to protect Christmas?
Number 8, Michael Bay's Armageddon. Michael Bay's Armageddon is a classic movie set during the 90s where a bunch of spacemen drill on the moon. Well, the big plot hole for this movie was, why would astronauts want to drill on the moon? Well, actually, it was explained if you look into the deep symbolism behind the film. And, you know, Bruce Willis's character actually had intention for doing it. I think they were mining for some sort of fuel or something. I actually didn't really see the movie. But anyway, Michael Bay told Ben Affleck to shut the fuck up, which I think rightfully so, because if you're invited to do a DVD commentary and you spend your time shit-talking the director, you're not really very professional. Maybe Ben Affleck thought he was a better director.
Number 7, Steven Soderbergh's Ocean's 11. Now, during the great film Ocean's 11, there was this really weird thing that happened where they found little porn cards in the bags at the end of the film. Now, a lot of people noticed that this would actually be impossible because no one put anything in the bags during the heist. And as they went on, a lot of people had confusion about this. So the director, pushed into a corner, had to admit that it was humanly impossible to actually put the porn in the bag.
Number 6, Titanic. James Cameron's Titanic is a film in which a ship crashes and everyone drowns and dies. It's also very well received in box office. But Rose is a fucking bitch because she didn't let Leonardo DiCaprio onto the... I don't know what that picture was. Didn't let him onto the board. We all know that they could have both survived on the door by sneaking a life jacket underneath the door, which Rose didn't think about because she had hypothermia and was almost dying, and her whole world of bourgeois and her friends and family were dying around her, so she probably shat herself before she got on top of that door. Anyway, on Mythbusters, James Cameron came on and went, "Yeah, I guess you're right, it would have been possible, but I'm a critically acclaimed director."
Number 6, James Mangold's Logan. During the greatly critically received movie Logan, a strange thing happens. The Xavier has hair, and if you think back in terms of comic book history, we all know he lost his hair because of his psychic ability fight with Apocalypse. So a lot of people were really upset about him having hair. The director went on to say that maybe he grew hair because his psychic abilities were wavering. And I think that's quite a good excuse. but it's a plot hole, and
the biggest
it's
plot
not
hole.
explained in one little bit, not even by the director. And now they're in the casino, and he still has hair, and I'm braiding my armpit hair.
Number 6, Pete Docter in Inside Out. This is a Pixar classic film about a bunch of emotions that live in a girl's head. We all know one of the biggest plot holes of this film was that that's not what's really inside a girl's head. Inside your head you have nerves and a brain, and you have dopamine and other chemicals that trigger emotions. But when the director was questioned about this, he said if he had done the film in a more realistic way, he wouldn't have a third act. Which, to be honest, is a bit of a cop-out. So you can believe that if you want to believe that. But in real life, the brain doesn't work this way. One girl thought her brain did work this way, and she tried to get her little people out the brain by cutting into her own head.
Number 9, it's 5, Steven Spielberg's Indiana Jones of the Crystal Skull. Now, we all know this scene, people, from the critically acclaimed and financially esteemed Kingdom's Crystal Skull. And the scene that's mostly iconic about this one is the bit where he gets in the fridge. And a lot of people were like, that's not how you survive a fridge. And Steven Spielberg has repeatedly come out being like, it is a plot hole, it's not possible. However, what we found out later in time is that George Lucas has said that it was him that convinced Steven Spielberg. In fact, bringing out files on files about how someone could potentially maybe survive a fridge and in a nuclear blast. So we know what that's about, people. George Lucas always screws up the movies, and so he went on to, why can't we get the good Indiana Jones back?
Quentin Tarantino, Django Unchained. This is not really a plot hole. This is more of just like a general criticism of the film. But anyway, I thought I'd include it in the fucking list because I make this video, not you. So shut the fuck up. Anyway, the two characters in the film, they decide to go into a plantation as slave owners, and that's like the plot of the movie. But like someone pointed out that actually they didn't need to do that, and they could have just bought his wife because she was a slave, and that's one of the perks of slaves is that you can buy them. I mean, it's not a perk. I'm not saying there's perks to slavery at all. There are none. It's a horrible thing that anyway. Yeah, so the movie guy sat with Tarantino and he was like, yeah, I guess so, you're right, my movie did suck because of that, nothing to do with anything else.
So what did you think of the video? Do you think these directors had a lot of plot holes in their films? If you did, comment below and let me know, and subscribe to WhatCulture for more content, and like and share and subscribe and spread this video around so many people can watch it and we can get all the views, and follow us on Twitter at WhatCulture. Hi guys,
thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Aren't you a star? Get to like, share, and subscribe below. And also, there's probably more content flowing up above my head, so why not check that out as well? Could be a laugh, probably. 6 out of 10. Ha ha ha.